Hi everybody, and welcome to Vehicle Visionary. My name is Tom Tompkins. I'm the host and the founder of Vehicle Visionary. Today, thanks to Orr Cadillac in Shreveport, Louisiana, I have this 2019 Cadillac CT6 that I'm going to tell you all about. And I would like to thank Tripp and his staff for the opportunity to take a close look at this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the exterior features of the 2019 Cadillac CT6. Starting out here on the front end of the CT6, I like the headlight design. I like that on all the modern day Cadillacs because you don't have headlights that are just on the front end, kind of the square or whatever shape you may have, but they're basically just shining from the front forward. You have light on the side of the vehicle as well. That's not only helpful for you as a driver because it illuminates what's going on next to you, whether you're driving or in a parking lot. Sometimes there might be things that you might not see, and even though you do have parking sensors on the front and rear of the car, if you don't know what's around and where it is, that can be a little challenging. These lights are going to illuminate that at night, so I really like that. Very bright lights. I like the front end design. Everything is nice and kind of swoopy looking in a way. You can tell this car is meant to get some good gas mileage, which it does. I'll give a little more information on that later on. But the shape of the hood, it's not just flat. I like how it has kind of the contoured look in the middle right here and kind of the raised center. It kind of gives it a little bit of a racy look. The Cadillac badge here on the center of the front grille, which the front grille and the vent down here on the bottom of the bumper, the front bumper, provide plenty of airflow to keep the engine nice and cool. And like I said, you have your parking sensors on the front, and not only right here, but also right here. So let's move on to the side and I'll tell you about some of the features such as the side view mirrors and what they can do besides just showing you what's behind you. Before I move on to the side of the exterior tour of the 2019 CT6, I want to show you what's under the hood, but I also want to show you something I really like about this. When you open the hood on your CT6, all you have to do is lift. There's actually no latch to fumble around and find underneath here. I really like that. That just makes things so much easier. I like the struts that hold the hood up for you. You don't have to worry about actually hinging the hood and holding it up manually. That makes it nice and easy. And here is the 3.6 liter V6 putting out 335 horsepower and 284 foot-pounds of torque. This car will get 18 miles per gallon in the city and 27 on the highway. Moving on to the side of the Cadillac, of course, you have the 19-inch multi-spoke wheels. I like that touch. Those are nice looking wheels right there. The Cadillac logo right in the center cap right there. And you also have the Cadillac logo right here on the side of the vehicle as well. The heated mirrors are going to be a real benefit to you during the winter when it kind of fogs up a little bit if you keep it outside or when you're parked in a parking lot. You also have the turn signal right here in the mirror. I've always liked that touch tremendously, but let me show you one of my favorite features of the CT6. That favorite feature that I was just talking about is called passive entry. Of course, you have keyless entry as well through your key fob, the remote, that you can use to lock and unlock the vehicle, to open the trunk, and actually to start the vehicle. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. But I like what's known as passive entry. It has to do with these little buttons right here. If you click that once, it unlocks the vehicle. If you have the key fob on your person, that's going to work. You can click it again and lock the doors back, front and rear. But here's something I really like. It's not just on the front doors, it's also on the rear passenger doors. So I can do that, unlocks the door. That way, if I'm somewhere where I maybe need to unload something or unlock it real quick without having to actually go back to the front door, open that up and let's see, unlock that and open that up and then actually push the unlock button right there. I don't have to do that, whether I'm at the grocery store or coming home and realizing, oh, there's something in the back seat I need to get. All I have to do is reach up here. Now it's unlocked, and we can unlock it just like that, open it just like that. Now here's just a quick look at the remote. It's very easy to use, lock, unlock, and then this button right here under the unlock button will actually allow you to remotely start the car. Of course, there's underneath the unlock button, you can open the trunk, and then you have a panic button on the very bottom. To remotely start your 2019 CT6, all you're going to do is push the lock button and then hold down the starter button that's underneath the lock button, and the car is going to start right up. And one other feature you will have is blind spot monitoring on your side view mirrors. It will illuminate orange when you need to know that there is something in your blind spot. And moving on to the rear of the CT6, you have a very similar design on the taillights that you do on the headlights. They are contoured into the side of the body, and of course the rear of the car actually come onto the trunk a little bit, so a lot of opportunity for people to see that you're braking or that your blinker is turned on, whatever you may be doing. Of course, dual exhaust, as you just saw in the exhaust clip, but there are 3 different ways you can open the trunk, depending on what your situation may be. There is a button right on the bottom side of the driver's side door where it's just above the cubby hole. You can also use the key fob, as I showed you earlier. There's also a button right underneath here. If you click that button, it's going to open right up as long as you have the key fob on you or in the car. And there is a lot of storage space inside the trunk. You have a spare tire inside here, but one of my favorite features is in the back seat. Let's say you go to the store or wherever you go and you pick up something that is too long to actually be able to close the trunk down on, and you don't want it hanging out of the back end. There's actually a hole in the middle right there where you can let down the armrest in the center console for the back seat, and then there's another little door right there that you can open that allows you to actually push things into the middle of the back seat and pretty far forward. So there's actually not as many limitations as you might have in other vehicles because of that nice little door right there that gives you additional storage space on your CT6. Before we move into the back seat, I want to show you how to open the fuel fill door. There's no button on the interior, nothing on the key fob you need to do. All you have to do is simply press on the filler door. It opens right up. There's no cap. You just put the gas nozzle right in and you're ready to fuel up your CT6. And moving into the back seat of the CT6, lots of room. You've got the panoramic sunroof, front and rear. Really like that touch. It not only makes the interior of the car more exciting under the right conditions. If you want to look at the sky, you can open them up. They also have shades, so if you don't want the sun coming through the roof, through the windows, through the glass here on the sunroofs, you can close those shades or open them depending on what your needs may be. There's also grab handles up here. There's vanity lights. There are hooks for clothes if you need that. There's also the armrest right here, which is multifunctional. There's actually storage on the inside right here. There's also a button right here on the very front. If you push that, you will open the cup holders. There's 2 of those right there. I like that a lot. There's also the door I was talking about earlier. All you do is open it right here and you can stick whatever you need to through there. Yeah, there's a little bit of a limitation on the space of what you can get through there, but it's not small, so that's going to work really well. You also have air conditioning vents right here in the middle. There's also a little bit of storage right underneath, and actually a lot of room back here for the passengers. I'm 5'10" and I have the seat set where I would normally drive, and I can just about stretch my legs all the way out. Your backseat passengers in the CT6 are going to be very comfortable and very happy. Here on the passenger side of the CT6, you can see the nice trim on the doors, and it's just like this on the front and rear doors, but I really like the fact that everything is consistent throughout. This is plastic right here, but it's very elegant. It's not cheap. That's very durable and well-made plastic. Nice chrome door handle on the driver and passenger sides. Now your seat adjustments for the 8-way adjustable seats are on the side of the front, or the driver and passenger front doors, I should say. They're not actually on the seat where you would expect to normally see them. Not a big deal. I did find myself reaching down to adjust the seat earlier. I just realized, oh yeah, they're still up there on the door. Might have to get used to that, but not a big deal. Okay guys, here we are on the interior of the CT6. and it's loaded with goodies. Let me tell you about some of the safety features. You have lane keep assist, parking assist, and there are so many different monitoring systems that will let you know what's going on around you. Of course, I showed you the blind spot monitoring on the driver's side mirror. When you're starting to get into a situation where maybe you're getting close to hitting something, the seat's gonna vibrate. I like that. That's one of the great features. You also will have lane keep assist visible on the dashboard, and so you can kind of see what you're doing as you're driving down the road. I'm showing you that right now on the screen. There's also forward collision alert, lane departure alert, and of course the lane keep assist, all tied into that. A lot of wonderful safety features that you're going to get with this particular model of the CT6. Of course, there's also the auto dimming rear view mirror with the optional upgrade for the actual camera view, which means this one doesn't have it, but you could upgrade to that. But what would happen is, instead of just seeing what you're actually looking at behind you from the mirror itself, it's actually using the rear view camera. So instead of having to look through the back seat and through the back window, you actually have a totally different field of vision. I like that a lot. I wish I could show that to you on here, but this one doesn't happen to have that feature. Not a big deal at all. Of course, you have some reading lights up here. You have the settings for your garage door opener. Bluetooth is available here in the car. You have OnStar. I mean, it is so incredible. Let me move you over to the driver's side here, and I'll show you what you're actually going to see when you're driving your CT6. Okay, so starting here with the center console, you have your traction control on or off, and that's going to let you know on the dash up here what you're actually doing. If you push that button, you will see that the traction control is turned off. Now you will see that it's turned back on. To the left of that is your modes button, so depending on what mode you want to drive in, you can choose that right here. You can also control the radio right here. You can turn that up or down depending on what you want to do. You can change stations and handle all of that. You can also control the functionality of your infotainment screen with this button right here. And I'll show you a little bit more about the infotainment screen in just a minute. You also have the ability to answer your phone right here. You've got two cup holders right here, and you can either leave that closed or you can leave them open. They actually have the ability to cool your drinks. That's what that is right there. And of course the shifter, which is really easy to use. I'm just holding down the button on the left-hand side right here. Kind of hard to do with my left hand, but if I want to go into drive, I'm just going to push that back. If I want to go into neutral, I'll push it one more time. And then if I want to go into reverse, actually what I'll do is, let's see if I can do this. There we go. Now I'm in reverse, and of course your backup camera is going to automatically come on. I like the fact that you have the grid. It's going to show you where you need to drive and where you're going. That makes things a whole lot easier. And when you get ready to park, you're just going to push that button on the top of the shifter and you are in park. You can control the air conditioner with everything right here. You have dual zone climate control right here for the driver and the passenger here, the driver here, your fan speed here, and you can also control that up here on the infotainment screen as well. So you have a couple of different options there. Good large air conditioning vents. Right here is your parking brake, so if you need to use that, that's where that is. Of course, like I said earlier, there are your seat adjustments, all of your typical buttons and switches here, rear windows, front windows. Here's how you adjust your driver and passenger side mirrors, depending. Everything's really simple. Blinkers, here's how you control the windshield wipers and all of that functionality, but let me just show you a few things here on the dashboard. Here is everything for cruise control. If you have favorite storage, you will scroll through with these buttons right here. There's nothing stored in there right now, so I can't really show you anything. You can also control the volume of the radio right here. And these buttons are going to allow you to surf through many different settings on the dashboard. As you can see, trip monitoring, you can change the look of the speedometer. You can also keep up on what's going on with your lane assist, your lane keep assist. That's right there. I like that feature. That's very nice. And if you want to see the speed limit where you're driving, that's what that is right there. And there's several other settings that you can learn about through your owner's manual and whoever sells you the car. Now let me show you a few things here on the dashboard as far as the infotainment screen goes. One thing I really like is this button right here. If you push that on the screen, the glove box is going to open, and you can scroll through basically anything you need to do. You can go to settings and change anything you want to right here. It's really easy. You're just going to scroll down through everything, scroll up, whatever you need to do. You can change your voice commands, and if you get in a situation where you think, oh, I don't know where I am, let me go back home, that's what this button is right here. Everything is very self-explanatory. There we go, back home. You can go to the radio right here. I don't have the phone connected, so I can't do anything with that. There is your navigation, which I really like that. That's nice and large right there. And you can control the air conditioner on the infotainment screen, or you can do it manually right here as I showed you earlier. Okay guys, my favorite part of reviewing these vehicles right here is the test drive. So I'm out here on the road with the CT6. The steering is nice and comfortable. It's not tight like it would be on a high-performance vehicle, a Corvette or a Porsche GT3 RS or something like that, but it's comfortable and it responds quickly. I like that, but like I say, it has kind of a feel to it of a luxury vehicle like you would expect. Steering wheel is nice and comfortable. Everything is really easy to get to. That's one thing I noticed very quickly about driving the CT6 is the fact that I can reach everything on the dashboard. Everything is easily accessible. Not a big deal. Very comfortable ride. I haven't driven this car on video on any roads that were pretty rough, but I did on the way to where I filmed the video, and I can tell you that it drives very well, rides very well, very smooth, very enjoyable to drive. The car does have good acceleration with 335 horsepower and 284 foot-pounds of torque. It's also, that is mated to a 10-speed transmission, so you're going to be able to get down the road no problem. If you're merging into traffic, you're not going to have any issue, I should say, getting up to the speed limit. No problems there. And if you want to pass somebody, say you're on the interstate or on a two-lane road and you need to go around somebody when it's safe to do so, not going to be a problem. So we're going to get this out on the open road and see how it handles out there. I've driven it around in some residential areas for the most part so far, but we're going to take it out on the open road and see how it does. Going through a pretty twisty little area right here. You know, this isn't a sports car, but I'll tell you what, it really hugs the road. It is all-wheel drive, so traction is not going to be a problem. One thing I'll say, doing a little bit of an acceleration test right there, getting up to the speed limit real quick, you can hear the transmission going through all those 10 gears. That is quite an experience, driving a 10-speed car, just listening to the engine change as the transmission changes gears. But I'll tell you this, it's really smooth. If you're used to driving, say, a high-end sports car, a Corvette, a Lamborghini Huracan, a GT3 RS, whatever, those are things I'm used to driving. Maybe not everybody is, but anyway, that experience in those cars accelerating is not quite like it is in this one. The acceleration in this car is very different. It's very smooth because the car rides so well. You're not going to necessarily notice the acceleration the same way you would as far as the way it feels, as far as the seat of the pants feel goes. So you might want to keep an eye on your speed, or just go ahead and set the adaptive cruise control at whatever speed you need to drive, and you'll be good. Okay guys, that ends my time with the 2019 Cadillac CT6. This is a lot of fun to review, a lot of fun to drive. If you're looking for a great luxury car, this is one you might want to consider. The price is very reasonable for all of the amenities and the bells and the whistles and everything that come with it. If you're in the Northwest Louisiana or nearby, make sure to check out Or Cadillac. You can buy this very CT6 right here if you're interested. Again, I appreciate Or Cadillac for the opportunity to review this amazing car. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please be sure to do so. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the dislike button 2 times if you didn't. Leave me a comment and let me know that you were here, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day, guys.